When we think about losing our souls, we usually picture a grand cinematic event, a dark bargain at a crossroads, a dramatic possession, or a sudden fall from grace. But the mechanics of damnation can be tedious. Often, human lives are ruined through nothing more than sheer mundane bureaucracy. This is the premise explored by C.S. Lewis. He envisioned a collection of instructional letters written by a senior demon, passing down the tricks of the trade to his nephew on how to secure the damnation of a human target. That manual is called the Screwtape Letters. Early on, the senior demon reveals a defining thesis to his protégé. He explains that dramatic sudden sins are risky because they might wake the human up to their own peril. Instead, he writes, "The safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts." To understand how this psychological warfare is waged, we have to open the manual and look at the three specific tactics these entities use. The first instruction deals with the deliberate suppression of human logic. Screwtape warns against ever engaging the human target in a logical argument. If you argue, you awake the patient's reason, and reason might follow a chain of thought to an objective truth. Instead, the demon instructs his nephew that jargon, not argument, is their best ally. The preferred weapon is to keep the human's mind tethered to the constant stream of immediate sense experiences. You don't want them thinking about whether a doctrine is true. You want them evaluating ideas using shallow labels, worrying about whether a thought is practical or contemporary. The goal is to trick the target into believing that the unreflective distraction of their daily routine is what constitutes real life, and that universal questions are a waste of time. But human energy levels change. Lewis introduces a concept he calls undulation, the natural rhythm of peaks and valleys in our enthusiasm, our relationships, and our faith. We see this on a chart of human emotion. You start with a peak of inspiration, but eventually transition into the repetitive work of doing the task. That transition is a psychological vulnerability. Hell targets these troughs to launch temptations when natural defenses are down. Here, Lewis identifies a limit on demonic power. Demons cannot invent pleasures. They can only twist existing ones. They apply a mathematical formula to corrupt the human, an ever-increasing craving for an ever-diminishing pleasure. By exploiting these natural emotional lows, they detach pleasure from its healthy context, transforming a human need into a draining compulsion. The third tactic involves turning a person's own community against them, specifically targeting their local church or social circle. Screwtape wants to shift the target's mindset. Instead of acting as a pupil participating in a community, the human is encouraged to become a critic, a connoisseur who shops for a group that perfectly suits them. To accomplish this, the demons fixate the human's attention on tiny, irritating flaws. If the human can be consumed by a neighbor's absurd hat or squeaky boots, it builds a wall of annoyance. By magnifying these trivial irritations, hell fosters a quiet internal arrogance. The human feels superior to their peers, cutting off connection without ever realizing they have been completely isolated. Despite this intricate planning, a blind spot sits at the center of Screwtape's strategy. He fails to grasp how the world actually works. Hell's intelligence department cannot comprehend selfless love. Because love offers no tactical advantage, the demons assume the concept must be a trick, a disguise hiding a selfish motive. They are trapped in a transactional worldview where beings only exist to consume others for power. They cannot grasp a creator who desires to forge humans into free, independent individuals. Screwtape's cynical realism makes him a brilliant tactician on paper, but it also leaves him blind to the most powerful force in existence. This blindness costs them the war. In the narrative climax of the book, the human target is killed during the bombing raids of World War II. Despite years of psychological campaigning, the patient is saved. In his final moments, the human realizes the mundane world was a veil. The fog lifts, and he recognizes the person he had been looking for his whole life. Lewis leaves his readers with a realization. Spiritual survival does not require you to fight supernatural battles or possess moral perfection. Victory simply means remaining awake to the present. It means refusing the complacency of the gentle slope and finding weight in the ordinary acts of reason and love.